Oh, dear God, here I am. Hey, welcome to the synchronized universe. It's been a little bit since I've done one of these, quite a while. As a matter of fact, I'll explain exactly why that is. If you care to know, if you don't care to know, you're about to find out anyway. It's all good. I appreciate anybody who's ever watched any of these over the years. The struggle's been real out here. You know what I mean? Life. You know what I mean? So tonight we're going to be talking about unveiling the unknown fog, drones, and underwater mysteries. This is basically inspired by the various things going on in the world right now. Things that I've heard about, people talking about alien bases underwater, drones, mysterious fog, all kinds of crap that we've been hearing lately on the news and all over social media. And going to share my thoughts. If you care to know them, if you don't care to know them, you're about to hear them anyway. It's all good. So, again, welcome to where we dive into the unexplained, the mysterious, and the downright eerie. I am JB333, and today we are connecting some dots that might just lead us to a revelation about our world and beyond. Buckle up, because this is going to be one wild ride. Or maybe it won't be. I just realized that my phone camera does like auto panning now or something. This must be a new feature I'm unaware of, because this did not happen before. But I'm going to dive into a little bit about where I've been. So anybody that knows me knows that I actually bought a house last July, and what has come with this has been a lot of, getting to know what it actually means to be a homeowner, dealing with fixing stuff I never had to fix, dealing with paying for things I never had to pay for. And you realize that when you're renting, your landlord's got to pay for all that crap. And now you do when you own a place. It's pretty interesting, but I wouldn't trade it. I love having my own space. I love being able to do whatever the hell I want in my house. I can tear out this wall if I want to, you know what I mean? So, but dealing with that, I've been working a lot of extra hours. I've been really stuck in this endless cycle of work and nothing. Got sick a little bit, and honestly been just taking some time off to nurse my brain back to health. Mental health is a serious thing. It's something I've dealt with my entire life. I've done plenty of videos on my mental health state, on what I've dealt with in my life. And a lot of times you got to take a break from the internet, because the internet is insane. It can be, and it can do some crazy things to you. People say the most ignorant crap on the internet all the time, because they know that they don't have to be afraid that somebody's going to come to their house and you're coming to beat them up. They can't say this stuff to people's face, but that's what I'm getting at. So that's, the internet can be toxic, and the internet can also spread a bunch of nonsense that may or may not be true. But many, many years ago, I got heavily into the conspiracy theory ideologies, all of them, anyone that you can possibly think of. So now it's gotten to the point where people send me them, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't really want to dive down this rabbit hole and get all obsessed, because a lot of times you can't prove any of this stuff. So that's why, the first thing we're going to be talking about is this fog, and I'm actually going to share some videos. I figured out how to screen share and stuff. Bear with me here, because if it doesn't work, hey, we struggling out here together. So I'm going to show this one right here. So, Americans alarmed by chemical fog spreading across the U.S. sparks bioweapon conspiracy theories, from the New York Post and Associated Press, I believe.
All right, so it's crazy foggy right now.
Everybody's watching. Let me know if you can't hear this.
But that's not the weird part, okay? Like, number one, it's weird because as it gets later in the day, fog should lighten, dissipate, and it's really not. But the weirdest part is the taste and smell. It smells like after you set off a bunch of fireworks, and like the taste of the air is, the only word I can think of is toxic. It's super weird. And so I'm going for my walk, and it's kind of worrying me a little bit. Let me know if you guys are experiencing something like that. That's weird. Yeah, it smells not right. And I'm 41. I've been through fog. This is something different. Let me know if you guys are experiencing something like that.
All right. Oh, let's pause that one. Let's get that one. Let's hide that one on stream. So back to that. I've been hearing a lot about this like mysterious fog stuff, and my first inkling is to obviously explain it away because, bro, there's fog everywhere. Now, hearing stuff like, oh, it has, a certain smell and taste. Fog obviously shouldn't smell and taste. However, I work at the airport, so I'm around fog a lot of times, and I have to spend time out on the tarmac sometimes. And when it's super foggy, it tends to hold in all the jet fuel and whatnot. So you go out there, that's ooh, dude, all you smell is like gasoline and jet fuel. So that could explain that, but certain like sulfur smells, who knows? Like, I like the idea of being able to explain it away. As much as I'm a conspiracy guy, I'm also, I also try to like explain things away before I jump down severe rabbit holes because I've found that a lot of stuff is not true. But I will say that, is it possible that they are spreading chemicals on a widespread basis to try to poison the populace? Oh yeah, absolutely. I was really obsessed with the chemtrail stuff quite a few years back. And there's more evidence to support the idea of chemtrails than there is against it, to be honest. The idea that they're spraying chemicals in the atmosphere, like 100%, without a doubt, I believe it. Now they don't even try to deny it. They can you do cloud seeding. They can spray chemicals into the upper atmosphere and literally create clouds. And many years ago, that was all denied as like, oh, that's crazy conspiracy nonsense that they're able to do that, right? And now they're coming out, oh yeah, it's completely true. So again, a lot of times what is known as a conspiracy theory at one point changes and is now, all of a sudden accepted as fact. Along that same regard, a few years back, I don't know if anybody realized, but they casually added a crap ton of different cloud types that weren't in there the previous how many years. And they obviously explain that one away too, is, like, oh, science has just evolved and changed. But in reality, all of a sudden we got these different kinds of clouds. Like, where do these clouds come from? Clouds that look like they're painted in the sky and not like natural clouds at all. We all know, like, they be trying to deny what we could see with our own eyes. And again, like, we're talking about the fog right now from that people are talking about on the internet, one of these viral things. And again, if you got time, look up the idea of chemtrails, look up the idea of cloud seeding, do the research for yourself. But you also need to know that sometimes YouTube, sometimes TikTok may not give you the best answers, but it can get you a start. It can get you sources. A lot of these people, share their research through this, and you can go through their sources and research this crap for yourself. You can see all the different patents on weather modification technology by the government. It's all real. Whether or not they are actually modifying the weather, it's really hard for us to be able to say. But there's been plenty of whistleblowers that suggest that they are doing exactly that. So either all of these people are lying or something's actually happening. You know what I mean? That's the path I like to go down when I'm thinking. So, I mean, what do you think? Is it just pollution absorbed by the fog? Is it a weather anomaly, or is it something more sinister? Some are even speculating that could be deliberate dispersal of chemicals, while other whispers about connection to recent UFO sightings. So we connect, that's what these people are saying online, is the fog connected to UFO sightings? I don't know. That's been a big subject as of late. This used to be fringe. It used to be something nobody talked about. UFO stuff, like now it's everywhere. Everybody's seeing it, and it's become like a no one cares type of a deal. And it's crazy. Even, the government has admitted the UFOs exist, and they've admitted that there's been non-biological human remains found in crashes and whatnot, and nobody believes it. I think that's all. Honestly, I think that's been part of the plan the entire time. I think that nobody believes anything because of what has happened over the past few years. We have been inundated with so much nonsense that nobody believes anything. But that's my take on that. So the second part of this, we're going to be talking about the drones, the mysterious drones. I've seen thousands of TikToks about drones. I've had people send me so many videos about drones and like seeing drones. I even posted a little joke video because I was at the airport, because I've seen how many people posted videos of planes and drones. Like, bro, like a lot of the videos people are posting are literally just planes. And that, it gets on my freaking nerves, because again, if you talk with enough conviction and share a video, you could get 1,000,000 people to believe you, even though it's false, completely false, because a lot of people will just believe what they see online. We've been taught to believe what we see. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I never say to believe everything that I'm saying. I'm saying do your research, know what you're looking at, know that you don't just believe everything you see, like question everything. So the next one we're going to show is New Jersey.
In a place, and then after a few minutes move left to right, up and down, just these very slow motions, and then they would just go away. It didn't concern me at first. I just didn't think anything of it until it started becoming like every night, the same time, same places. So I figured, okay, they must be doing some kind of military drill. Not that I went to go look to see if they were, I just figured that's what they were doing. And then once they came out and said that they're not, and they don't know what they are, and they're not foreign, but they're not ours, and they don't pose a threat, that's when it becomes concerning.
I've seen clusters. Last night I saw clusters of about 8 up over here, and but normally I see them a little spread out, and they're sporadic. Some of them illuminate a bright light. Some of them, when you see them on the side profile flying, you can see the red-green lights. But the difference is, even though airlines have that lighting, the way it lights and the brightness is different. And you also have sometimes LED lights. They looks like LED lights under the underbelly of the aircraft, which you don't see on a commercial airliner like that. And with the naked eye, the video doesn't really do justice, but when you look at what I'm seeing with the naked eye, you can see it's not a normal aircraft. And we don't have this much, traffic, usually on any given night in this area. So it seems like definitely some of them are aircraft that we can't explain what they are.
Yeah, that was to me that looked like a damn plane. So so again, some of these things that I've been watching, I'm like, bro, I don't know about all that. But so let's get rid of that. Yeah, like honestly, a lot of these videos that people are posting straight up look like planes to me. Yeah, and a lot of people are like that. When people were drumming up into a panic over this stuff, man, like it's crazy. And people posting videos, oh my god, what is this? They're coordinating an attack. I had my freaking a relative was trying to call up family and tell everybody to panic, and because they're going to be doing a coordinated attack. It's like, to me, that's absolutely wild to think that this is a hostile force in our country invading us and like positioning stuff all over it. That is wild. If you think the government would allow a hostile force to just be flying drones over military bases and stuff like that, you're out of your mind. I don't know. Personally, was there drones? Probably. Like, people have seen them. What are they? Who knows? But let's see what we got. Let's get this one. This mystery drones one. Let's see what we got.
So basically what I've seen regarding the drones is more so just when you're driving around at night and you see the blinking lights up in the sky. And when I was driving home from a friend's house, I saw one that looked about the size of a car that was just hovering over Flanders Valley golf course. It was a circular object that had lights all around it, almost like the classic UFO that you would see online.
So I've seen them over my house just about every single night for the past 2.5 weeks. At first, they were more sporadic. I would see 1 to 2, sometimes 3 of them. And now we're seeing anywhere between 6 to 8 in a single sighting. So they're not scary per se. They're not like looking through your window. They're not crashing into your house. But it's still concerning because there are these mystery UFOs, unidentified flying objects flying around. that nobody is giving any to, and nobody seems to know what they are. This is something that's either military or beyond. You know, these are huge. They're not the size of the normal video and camera drones that everyone's used to seeing, the ones that are about this big. These are big. You know, they're the size of small cars. Honestly, we have military. There's helicopters, there's planes. Somebody needs to go up there when one of those drones are out, get a close shot of it, or even, if it's possible, take one of them down. If they truly don't know what it is, it makes no sense that they're not trying everything they can, like the Chinese spy balloon that was floating around for a while, to take one down to get more information.
So I think that is what you just said about like it being military. I think that was like my first inkling. So I believe that the military is and has always been working on technology that we don't know about. And I'm a firm believer that a lot of the UFOs that have been seen over the past, 30 years or so, probably even longer than that, that's just estimation, okay, are actually our technology that is hidden from the public. And I believe that we as a country have possessed this technology since World War II, since Hitler. Since we essentially took over his scientists, put all the scientists into the United States and took all of his research. I'm a firm believer that we have had this technology since then. And this is not just me. There's been whistleblowers that have come out and said this over the years, people risking their entire careers and livelihoods to come out and say this. Those are the type of people that I believe, not the people that are out here like making money and making, because a lot of this is an industry. When you really get down to brass tacks, like what I'm doing here is really, it's an outlet for me, but ultimately it could possibly be industry. So when people are trying to talk about UFOs and stuff like that, a lot of time, they're selling you something too. And like my take on all this is to do your own research and be, question everything always. And I like to offer a different take on it. And it's definitely something I like to really chat about. But again, I'm a firm believer in the fact that we possess UFO technology as a country and have been using it actively since probably the 50s, late 40s, 50s. And a lot of people have come out and said that exact same stuff, which leads me into the next part of this. A while back, somebody was saying that they admitted that there is underwater bases, UFO bases under the ocean. And of course, I didn't believe it immediately when people said that. And this video doesn't actually confirm that there is underwater bases. However, they do confirm that there has been, UFO reportings, coming up out of the water. So is there probably UFO bases underwater? Absolutely. Are they extraterrestrial in nature? We don't know that. Again, I think that I do firmly believe that extraterrestrials are real. I firmly believe in the existence of life on other planets, and I think it would be silly to not believe in life on other planets. As far as, again, all the UFOs we ever see, are they extraterrestrial craft? Who knows? More than likely, I think they are our technology that's being hidden from the public. But I'm going to share another video on this one. This is Lauren Boebert. I'm going to say Boebert. I want to say Boobert. Oh my goodness gracious. Probes UFO experts on existence of underwater alien bases. Now, this is from the New York Post. This is stuff that's been surprising me as of late, because this was fringe subjects way back in the day. So for that to be on here is mind-blowing to me. But here we go. Let's watch a little bit of this video.
There are rumors that have come up to the Hill of a secretive project within the Department of Defense involving the manipulation of human genetics with what is described as non-human genetic material, potentially for the enhancement of human capabilities, hybrids. Are any of you familiar with that? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
I am not. So I will say on this one that this reminds me of like I've been watching the Marvel movies as of late. This is some shit that reminds me of the Marvel movies. Like we are out here recombining essentially alien DNA with humans to try to make hybrids, bro. Is that what we're getting at? We're making super soldiers out here. And of course, none of these people would admit to that because this would be extremely classified. This would be something that nobody's going to share with the public, bro. Like this would be like you seen this and well, never happened. It was a weather balloon accident. You know what I mean? But I just find that interesting because I've been watching all the Marvel movies. I've never watched the individual ones, and I've gotten a little obsessed with them now. But hey, don't judge me. I'm a nerd.
Not man. I'm not.
No, man.
Okay, I would like to know, with Immaculate Constellation, how does this relate to UAP activities, Mr. Schellenberg, in oceanic environments?
Immaculate Constellation? What are we looking at there? What is that? I might have to look that up. But
are there any instances where the Navy or other maritime forces have encountered UAPs that could not be explained by known technology or natural phenomena?
I believe she was trying to say maritime, but I'm not judging.
Yeah, the Immaculate Constellation covers both terrestrial and oceanic, and there's actually a number of cases described in the report that occur in the ocean.
And do you believe that there is a concerted effort by the Pentagon to keep Congress out of the loop regarding these UAP activities, specifically in our waters?
Yes.
I think it's about 5% of our ocean that's actually been studied in detail by man, and we've studied more of space than we had of our own oceans. And so are there any accounts of UAPs emerging from or submerging into our water which could indicate a base or presence beneath the ocean's surface?
I don't know about a base, but as I mentioned, I had a different source entirely describe this pretty extraordinary footage that exists of orbs, of an orb coming out of the ocean and being met by another orb.
Some would say that there's multiple hotspots where we see frequent activity. So in your investigations, have you come across any data or visual evidence like sonar readings or underwater footage of these UAPs?
I have not beyond what's in the report.
You've written about UAPs not only in the air but in underwater. Are there any specifics on what you've learned about the UAP activity in our oceans? Particularly, have you spoken with sources who have provided any evidence or eyewitness accounts of these UAPs interacting with our naval forces or being detected by our underwater surveillance systems?
Nothing beyond what's in the report and then the specific case that I mentioned with the orbs.
I don't know. That's a little mind-blowing there. Wait, no, pause, bro. We ain't trying to do it.
Mr. Burleson, I'll recognize you for 5 minutes of questions, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Or maybe I'll watch that later. But anyway, so connecting the dots. Let's take a step back and connect the dots. What do you guys think of that one? If you get a chance to comment, I'll read it later or whatever about the idea of there being underwater bases. I mean, again, nobody in that video is denying it. There's been, I'm telling you, if you got time, you want to go down some serious rabbit holes, look up everything you can find on UFO. Look at all the whistleblowers that have come out over the years, risking their entire careers to try to tell people that. Look into the Disclosure Project by Dr. Stephen Greer. It's a solid one. If anybody's a really solid person to research, it's Dr. Stephen Greer. I've not found any fault in a lot of his work. Again, this is somebody who is risking their life, livelihood to come out and say these things because this is the type of stuff that they don't want us to know about. Why is it that they wanted to keep this a secret the entire time? Who actually knows? It's probably due to trying to keep technology to themselves. Essentially, it's probably the compartmentalization of our government that, our government's not exactly what you think it is. It's more or less, there's the military is its own thing, a military industrial complex, and a lot of defense contractors hold a lot of sway over government because, hey, I got all this money, I got all this technology, I'm gonna wipe your ass out. You say something about this, you know what I mean? Shortened version. But In any case, again, connecting the dots. So a strange fog that makes people sick. Advanced drones with no clear speculation about underwater alien bases. Are these just random events, or are they the part of a larger puzzle? I believe that they are part of a larger puzzle. Let me know what you think later in the comments if you feel like it. I think that we have very little idea of what's actually going on this planet, and I've gone down this rabbit hole. A lot of people, what it boils down to is a lot of people don't have time to do this kind of stuff. When I'm working 40 hours a week and I'm stressed, I really don't want to look into things that make me more stressed out about the world. And I've realized that, like, when I was essentially unemployed for quite a while and doing things that I shouldn't have been, like, doing a lot of drinking, a lot of heavy drugs, etc. There was times where I had a bunch of time. I had a bunch of time to look into all of this nonsense, and it gets scary. It gives you a view of the world that is hard to explain. Like, when I believe that there's a secretive shadow government that's essentially enslaved all of us, it's really hard to just live a normal existence because I don't really want to go to work because I'm giving all my money to them. But ultimately you have to learn to play by the rules of this system. That's part of the way that I've had to be. Like, I'm the biggest conspiracy guy that I know, and yet I managed to go to work every day and do what the hell it is I'm supposed to do and pay my taxes like a good little citizen. And it sucks, you know what I mean? But my kids are not going to take care of themselves. My family, my bills are not going to pay themselves. So this is why you got to do what I got to do. And this has always been my outlet. This is not something I'm obviously making money on. This is something that I like to do to get people to think. Me and my buddy Ricky were doing this for quite a while. EA's been dealing with some stuff and hasn't been able to do these. And this has, been something that's both of our outlets. It's fun to research. I forgot how much fun it is to actually go down these rabbit holes when you're not taking it too seriously, bro. I can't stress this enough. When you're watching TikToks and stuff like that, you cannot believe everything that these people are saying just because they are convincing. Like, again, anybody can get on and say that the sky is green and present you with a bunch of nonsense data to prove it. And if you're not critical thinking enough, you'll believe, hey, this fucking sky is green. Excuse my language there, but you catch my drift. You have to know how to vet these sources. And a lot of people send me like flat earth stuff, for example. And I myself am not a believer in flat earth. I do not think that there's enough evidence to support the idea of flat earth by any means. I think that that would have to be the most grand conspiracy ever constructed on our planet. And you can't get on anything space related, anything NASA related, anything on these threads online without seeing people arguing about whether or not the earth is flat, bro. And I promise you could prove this to yourself. You can get a bunch of y'all together, get on a boat, and go sail off the world or sail around the world, because I guarantee you it's going to happen. People have literally circumnavigated this planet since the dawn of time. Like, there is no way that is actually the case. Now, is there a lot more going on our planet? Absolutely. Is our history absolutely flawed? Yes. Are we being told the truth at all about what's going on? No. I don't believe so. I think that we are told just enough to keep, I don't know what you want to call it, to keep us busy and keep us, as little drones to the system, but we are not being told the truth. Anyway, about 30 minutes has passed. I'm now going to be doing these far more regularly now that I've figured my stuff out here. And again, I appreciate anybody for tuning in. Next week, we're probably going to talk a bit more about UFO stuff. I'm going to share some more whistleblower testimony. I haven't shared any so far, but I'm going to pull up a bunch of videos, share some videos. We're going to chat about it. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. And as always, you're worth more than you know. Take it easy, my friends.